Hey, yo, DJ! What up? We got ourselves a nodder!
Pretty music. Oh crap, I'm supposed to be blogging. Okay, come on. Well guys, if you don't quite get the implementations here, that theme I picked for Behemoth Vlogmaster Season 12 is not quite clicking with me. So we're returning, again, to Squatta Bambino Tumblr. I'm one of those people that really have a hard time making up their mind. Like, I did make an announcement in the community tab that the Season 8 theme would return a second time, but then I was like, it's fine, just leave it. But here I am again, changing my mind. How can anyone trust this son of a shick? Shick, eh? That sounds like a legit swear, but it's not. Anyway, that theme wouldn't really fit too well for the Western nature of this blog, so I think from now on, no more experimentations. We are going to stick with Squatta. Most freaking likely. Unless, if in the future some musician comes around who is willing to make custom music for BBM. Which, you know what, that does kind of remind me of this guy I met a few months back at a bowling alley. His name is Dovihon Vega, and the way he makes his music is pretty interesting. For lack of a better way to explain this, he basically synthesizes his voice into 4 different instruments, each one being its own recording, but all of them singing the same lyrics of the song. That's talent right there. I believe you recently did something like The Circle of Life from Lion King. That's pretty cool. I like this a lot. And if you happen to want to look at it yourself, of course, you will have a link in the description. But I really gotta move on with the blog, so let's do just that. A long time ago I found this on the internet, a Spider-Man camel statue. What the unholy ostrich asshole? This doesn't even feel real, like why would these two things ever combine into each other? I don't really remember the year I first saw that, but it would have been long before the Spider-Verse movies came out, and they had that Spider-Man pig thing. I'm not up to date with these movies, so I'm not going to question it. But this is a real statue in a plaza somewhere out there. I have no idea why, but November 11th, 2026 will mark the 100th anniversary of Route 66. And I'm not going to wait until then to make this episode. I want to see more bizarre statues like that camel, and I want to see them now. We will get to that in a second, but Route 66 and the Mississippi River have always fascinated me as America's 2 long-ass lines. But the difference between the two, one is man-made and the other is not. The Mississippi River changes form over time, with the moving plates of the earth. Route 66 is stationary, and both of them intersect in Missouri, so I predict that someday, probably hundreds and hundreds of years in the future, the river will escape the grasp of Route 66. Probably. Or at least the main streak of it. I don't know about any of the branching out parts. Those will probably evaporate before the main source goes away. But anywho, let's go ahead and talk about some roadside attractions you will see touring down Route 66. Now, there are a ton of them. And, you know, structurally wise, this is kind of similar to a bunch of other episodes I've done in the past, where I look at things and describe them. That doesn't equate to this episode being bad automatically, but we're just going to do 4 of them. Because I can't think of enough unique things to say for each, and there really aren't too many ones I could find online that are worth noting about. But anyway, what am I crapping? The first one is the Jiminy Giant, located in a place called Wilmington, Illinois. Firstly, the look of it. It looks like some man pretending to be a 5-year-old dressing up in stupid-ass clothes, playing with his toy rocket. I'm not saying it looks stupid overall, but it's just so random. I mean, it makes sense in the context of where it is. It's next to a restaurant that's outer space themed, so I guess, you know, it works out. But what doesn't make sense, it's right next to a neighborhood, it looks like. I didn't know big-ass highways like to get close to the neighborhoods. This statue was standing outside the restaurant for about 60 years, until just recently, this year in fact, they got put back into storage. I don't know why, but the whole thing is way lighter than it looks. It's only about 438 pounds. There are actual flesh and blood people that weigh over twice that much. This is a big ass 30-foot statue. So yeah, that surprises me. Okay, next we have the blue whale of Catoosa in Oklahoma. That's right, the land where the wind came sweeping down the plain. My state actually takes second place for the most Route 66 in it. 432 miles are in Oklahoma. Mexico has 487. And Kansas, those poor bastards, it just barely scrapes the southeast corner of the state with 13 miles worth. Pathetic. But anyway, I've actually been on this thing before. My mom once said that it was, quote, world famous, but I wouldn't go that far. It's popular in Oklahoma, but world famous would probably be some monument, I don't know, the Leaning Tower of Pisa or something, that has lots of people surrounding it 24/7. In the time that I went there was like no one else, so there you go. I do believe in the 1970s you could swim in the little lake that it's in, hence why there's a slide on the side of it. But these days there's snakes that surround the lake and swim in it and crap, so probably not a good idea. And there's also other little play areas next to it, like these mushrooms and this big ark boat, but they have worn with age, so you probably shouldn't really mess with them. Moving into Texas now, we have the Big Texan Steak Ranch in Amarillo, which is pretty damn fitting for the area.
Hey, Patrick, what am I now?
Stupid?
No, I'm Texas.
What's the difference?
You know, they made this movie for a reason. Don't be hating unless you're asking for shit. But yeah, this restaurant is a beast, and I'm not sure if I'd actually eat there depending on what was on the menu other than steak. But yeah, it sure is purty. I like big-ass restaurants that are all fancy and crap. Alright, I saved the best one for last, and that's sarcasm, it's probably the worst one, but we have Uranus Fudge Factory in St. Robert, Missouri. You did this on purpose, guys. You couldn't have picked any other planet in our solar system, such as Neptune or something. You had to go with your dumbass anus. But other than that, it is just a store that sells fudge and other candies. Okay, well that about wraps it up for this episode. You ought to let me know what roadside attractions you found interesting out there in the world, whether on Route 66 or not. But until then, get your kicks. Oh, okay, that felt kind of bad.